Hey, good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, the 16th. I'm here to record our new moon video, which is going to be occurring here on the East Coast of the United States at 8:43 p.m. Friday, the 19th. So, as always, of course, I will share the charts in the comments underneath this video if you are on my private or in my private Facebook group. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I mean, you can see from yourself if you've been following along with me what the different aspects look like and what's good and what's bad. And this is very challenging. The energy, we've already been feeling it this last week or so, this buildup of some really horrific events going on around the world, especially in this country. And it's going to get worse, unfortunately, at least according to this chart, before we feel any relief. So this new moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, but it is at the very end of Sagittarius season. So just like a day later, a couple days later, is solstice, our winter solstice, and then the sun and the moon will be in Capricorn. So I'm still gonna, we are going to read this as it is with the Sagittarius energy of this chart. But this is part of that buildup of tension. And shortly after solstice, once the moon and the sun move into Capricorn, we are going to feel a release. But I will get to that in a bit. All right. So the parts of the body that we need to worry about, be extra protective of under this new moon are our liver, hips, thighs, tailbone, but also with that Capricorn energy, backbone, joints, knees, skin, and hair. All right. So this is, again, with the new moon being in Sagittarius, the sun and moon are in Sagittarius. Our elements, though, are equally balanced between water and fire, or aspects to these elements. We have 10 in fire, but also 10 in water. So they're basically fighting each other and canceling each other out, or vying for who's the top dog here. We get a little bit of help from air trying to support the fire energy, but there's only 4 aspects to air signs, only 3 to earth. So where the help comes with those earth and air is in the outer planets. All of this is inner planet tension, which for us, most of us astrologers, we think of that as inner tension, like our tension within ourselves and possibly our inner circle. So yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that solstice is on the 21st. That occurs at 10:03 a.m. here on the East Coast on Sunday the 21st, this is also known as Yule. Also, this is the beginning of, we're already in Hanukkah season, so happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate. And then Christmas follows right after Yule or solstice, right? So let's get into it. All of our 4 sun, moon, Mercury, Venus are all in Sagittarius. Mars is in Capricorn. Juniper is in Cancer retrograde. Saturn is in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus retrograde. Neptune is in Pisces, and Pluto is in Aquarius. So our first 3 aspects, and I'm not going to touch on every single one, but I'm going to touch on the ones that have the most influence here in this chart. So basically the first 3 are extremely harsh. Then we have some challenging aspects that follow that up. And then thankfully those outer planets are going to give us enough good to help us, at least try to help and support, get us through all of this. Okay, so let's dig in. First harsh aspect here is the Sun square Saturn. So this is going to bring a challenge of ego and of self-worth. Okay, our self-worth for many of us, it's going to take a hit, okay? We need to try to ground and focus on our inner strength, recognize our own worth rather than looking to the outside for approval, because there's going to be some real crisis struggle here. The next aspect is the Sun square Neptune, again highlighting an identity crisis, disillusionment and loss of focus or life purpose. A lot of us are going to be struggling with that. We're not sure like where to go next. We feel stuck. We feel blocked every which way we go. Watch out for escapism. That certainly is a tendency, especially around the holidays. People might not be feeling so great. Just try to recognize it and guard against that. Also, burnout. Guard against being taken advantage of. We need to set clear boundaries and work a grounding practice to help deal with and negate this energy. The next really harsh aspect, we have Moon square Saturn. So this is going to bring for a lot of us a difficulty trusting others, a need to protect our feelings, a feeling of loneliness. There's an inward emotional battle going on here. So we need to work on self-love and, of course, building those safe bonds with people, safe connections with people, okay? We're questioning possibly many, if not all, of our places that we have put trust in relationships at this time that now feel that we somehow were wrong all along. And it's like we're almost questioning our own sanity at this point. Another challenge here is that Moon square Neptune. This is, again, a struggle to separate personal emotions from the emotions of others. Boundaries are blurred at this time, but we're all feeling a need for spiritual connection. And again, the challenge is knowing which direction to turn for that. Now, Mercury is in Sagittarius, which is a really good placement for Mercury. Unfortunately, so there are no aspects to Mercury, so Mercury is not really helping us at all, which means communication, it either there's going to be a lack of it, or anything that we are attempting to communicate at this time it's going to be a challenge, or there's just not going to be any receiving of the communication. The next challenge we have here is Venus in Sagittarius square Saturn in Pisces. So this is also highlighting a fear of rejection and a distrust. We are going to be wanting to put more emphasis on emotional security over expression at this time. And, our boundaries might be a little bit too strong, but also there is a real fear, justifiably so, in a lot of cases, that we need to reinforce those. Next challenge here, Venus is square Neptune. All of these squares, when you look at this chart, you're going to see what I'm saying. So be careful of idealizing and fantasizing your relationships, right? Instead of living in and accepting reality, like, you're going to hurt your own feelings because of your confusion, because of your expectations, because of, we've talked about it before, idolizing your partner or idolizing your perfect relationship and trying to create your fantasy into reality when that's just not the case. So Mars is in Capricorn. This is highlighting hard work. And the energy is disciplined and controlled at this time, which is pretty good thing. But Mars is square Neptune, so we're going to feel confused and overwhelmed about our direction at this time. Our goals feel very vague. And we might, again, be feeling disillusioned with our life work at this time, questioning, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Now, all of that is heavy, heavy stuff, guys. I know. But now for the good, or at least better news. And again, these are our outer planets doing their best to try to help us through all of this, right? So we have a minor good aspect here with Jupiter in retrograde. which is in Cancer, and it's trine Saturn. So this is going to lend to mature, wise, and responsible energy. This is balancing energy. It's going to lend to good judgment and timing. And there is a window of opportunity here. You just have to use that wisdom to find it and know when to take advantage of it. Another good aspect here, again, these are minor good aspects, but they are helping. They really are trying to push us through some of this really heavy stuff. So, Jupiter is trine Neptune. So this bridge building is possible through empathy, intuition, and our higher purpose. Okay. This is a reminder to put yourself in other people's shoes before you start feeling a certain kind of way, before you want to start an argument, before you want to judge or criticize or, jump to conclusions. Just pause and put yourself in somebody else's shoes. So then we have another minor good influence. Saturn in Pisces is sextile Uranus. So this is lending to good problem solving skills and a nice balanced blend of progressive and innovative ideas with grounded action in traditional ways of doing things. And then another minor good influence here is Saturn conjunct Neptune. So this is going to help us reinforce those healthy boundaries and through consistent effort, create a balance in our lives. Okay. Now here's a couple of major good aspects, thankfully. And this is, again, one of our only air aspects here because we have Saturn in Pisces trine Pluto and Aquarius. And again, these are those generational influences that we've been feeling for a while. But this is necessary and possible change for self and for your community improvement. Okay, self-improvement, community improvement, wisdom, and a sense of purpose are guiding us at this time. And then the next and the last aspect I'm going to talk about here is a Neptune sextile Pluto. So then again, this is that inner growth and collective healing highlighted. So our outer planets, just to sum it all up, the generational influences of these outer planets are doing major damage control for the inner planets or self conflict that's going on right here, right now. And that a lot of us, most of us are feeling this kind of crisis. So this energy of this new moon builds up to solstice in intensity, with major conflicts of self and letting go. Okay, letting go of anger, arguments. So these things are going to be highly likely in this buildup, between our new moon on the 19th and then our solstice on the 21st. So again, anger, arguments, and accidents are likely just before. And then finally, there is a release of the olds. Okay, finally a release, almost feeling like a letting go. We can finally drop the burdens that we've been carrying around. And then the clean slate Capricorn energy comes in. It will literally feel like a weight falls off of our shoulders. So guys, I'm with you. This is going to be a struggle and it's going to be a challenge. And I'm telling you, I'm sharing this with you to be prepared. Certainly you want to diffuse, you want to, under a new moon, you want to sage, you want to meditate and pray, you want to do the inner work. There's going to be a lot that needs to be done. But then just on the other side of this and just after this solstice, the energy should feel lighter. It should feel like it's dissipating. It should feel like we're ready to start over with the clean slate. Okay, guys. Blessed be. Namaste. Have a good one.